I need something. There we go. Oh shoot. Ooh, that's better. Did you guys know that in 2004 they made a slot for your phone right above the steering wheel? I didn't even notice that. No, they didn't do that. What? Okay, let's go like this. Go like this. Hello everyone, whenever you are watching this. The title of this video is This is Becoming a Habit, and the habit is that every time I drive my mom to one of her doctor checkup appointments or whatever, I just go live to pass the time. So that's what we're doing here. Thought I'd do a Q&A. Haven't done one in a while because I haven't done dishes. If you're new to the channel and want to know what I'm all about, check out the vlogs, maybe check out some of the build videos or the paint videos. But if you want to just get to know me and ask a question, that's what these videos are for. And I used to wash my dishes quite often before I had a dishwasher, and that's when I would do my Q&A, but now I haven't. Let's just take that off. That looks that looks okay, I guess. Looks better than the messy scraggles. How are you guys doing wherever you are in the whole wide world? I hope you're doing good. I hope you, what day is it today? Friday? I hope you're gonna have a good weekend. Or if you're in Australia, I think it already is the weekend. And maybe New Zealand and parts of other overseas places. I don't know where everyone is, but I hope wherever you are, you're doing good. Hello, Heather, Tia, Jackie, Leslie, Renda, Ninja Mama. That's a good name. Kim, Lynn F, Deborah, Agnes, Elise, Nadine, says yo, Nadine Baker. I used to live with a lady. I used to rent a room from her. Her name was Nadine. She was good. She was a good, I don't know if you'd call her a friend. She was more of a, she was more parental than a friend. I used to work at the cowboy, fast food cowboy hat, and so did she. And when I got kicked out of my house, so I went and lived there for a bit, probably 2 years, I think. And yeah, that was a good time. That's when I used to be a magician. But anyway, I don't know if you guys know that about me, but I used to live at Nadine's house. And her daughter, Tia, still friends with her today. She's younger than me, I think, by about 4 or 5 years or something like that. But I'm friends with her today. So it's crazy how life will take you in a direction based off of some, like, seemingly unconsequential decisions. And then they kind of shape how you keep going along. You're still a magician. Look at your creations. Magic isn't real, though, and what I'm doing is real. Must be Saturday afternoon on the other side of the world. One day, right? Eastern time. Could be. Mary Beth, it's too cold for a haircut. Cold as snow, but you beat us with winter weather. Well, it's raining right now. It's not snowing here. I don't know if you guys can hear if I'm quiet. Can you guys hear that? It's like a frozen rain. It's freezing before it hits the, yeah, it's kind of bouncing off. Some of them are staying cold or wet, or how do you say that? Some of them are staying water, whatever, and then they're freezing to like the windows and stuff. But it's not going to make for a good drive home because it's going to be slippery, but that's okay. Sleet. Yeah. Sleet is different than frozen rain, but yeah, sleet is like a summer thing, right? Which is technically frozen rain, but like sleet happens in the summer, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But they call it frozen rain in the winter because it's raining in the winter, but it freezes because it's so cold out or whatever. I don't even know. If you look outside, it's all overcast. It's like, let me just show you real quick. This is all gray, just one big ass cloud, and then you can see on the window here, kind of. You can't really see because the backlighting or whatever. It's not hail. Hail is like ice chunks, right? They're usually about this big or so. Sometimes they're quite large. A couple years ago, or maybe it was last year, they were like small baseballs. That's not a thing because the baseball is a regulation size, but they were like a ball that bigger than a golf ball, smaller than a baseball. It was crazy. Sleet is winter. Oh, okay. Then I don't know what I'm talking about. Magic is real. Oh, I'll try it sometime. You do every day. You get help all the time and people love you. That's magic. Okay, well, you spelt that really strangely, so I don't know if I'm talking about something different than you. Uh, hello from Sweden. Same weather, different part of the globe. Sweden. I've always wanted to go to Sweden. I feel like, and don't take this the wrong way, but when I hear Swedish people, or like maybe it's not even Swedish people, maybe it's any other, is that a Nordic country? When I hear them speak like their native language, it sounds like you're like kind of like baby babble, where you're just like, I don't know if I said anything, but I think that's so fascinating that those sounds are coherent to those who understand it. Whereas like me speaking English, I only know how to speak English, so like I'm just making noise with my face and it means something. But like you are making a different noise with your face and it can mean the same thing even though it's a different noise. It's so fascinating that so one day, however it happened, people weren't speaking and then they're like, oh, we need to come up with words. But then how do you explain the concept to someone? Like the context would be like, okay, hat, right? So you would have to come up, you'd be like hat, head. But then you need the hat on head, whatever the on word is. I know there's a word for whatever that is. So then you also had to figure out the word for the words. Like verb, noun, adjective. Wait, what is it? Adjective, right? Yeah. Adverb, colloquialism. It's crazy. Are you in a car? Doesn't look like your truck. This is my mom's car. She can't get into my truck very easily, so I'm just in her car. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just waiting for my mother's doctor's appointment to be done. She just does these doctor's appointments, I don't know, every few months or whatever. She has to do a checkup or whatever. And so I always drive her. I one time told her when I was a little kid, she sometimes reminds me of this, where I said, so when I was like, I don't know, must have been in grade 2 or 3 or 4. Nah, grade 2 or 3. I told her that I would be her chauffeur if she wasn't dead yet when I was old enough to drive. And uh, I guess that's what I am. Enjoyed meeting your mom on your Christmas video. She has to be a remarkable woman, having such artistically gifted children. She actually isn't my mom. I just call her my mom, but it's just easier. She just raised me from when I was like 2 years old. Here in Saskatchewan, my mom spoke only Swedish before starting school. I know some Swedish. Dude, that's so cool. It was lovely to listen to your mom the other day on your Christmas video. Oh, we got someone from Lithuania, Nicole Johnson. Snow and ice storm just left here, Oklahoma, overnight and is heading northeast. The sun is out for the first time in like 4 days. Today is warm, but the snow, warm. It's like, I think it's plus 15 degrees Celsius. So it's not warm, but it's not cold. And it's been minus 30 for the last few days. So it's nice. Nice change. She is your mom. She raised you. Okay. She's not my mom, but she did raise me. Slushy. Yep, sleet. Hello from Sweden. I went too far back. There was a some comments that I missed. I wanted to get to them, but I went too far back. I'm staring at Johnny Cash right now, wondering what the white spot that looks like a Band-Aid across his face. That is a Band-Aid. My spelling is not 8. I didn't pay attention in high school, but English was always my best. I'm not sure what that means. Not 8. English was always your best. I'm pretty sure you learned how to spell in grade 1. But if you waited till high school to learn, shit, that's good for you. You're pretty good for someone who waited to high school and wasn't good then. What did you get? What did you do to get kicked out of the house? Good question. We sound like the chef. We sound like the chef in the Muppet Show. And you made an accurate sound. I am dying, lol. Oh, that's funny. Not right. Oh, 8. Not 8. Not right. Okay, okay, you spelled 8 instead of right by accident. Moms don't have to be connected to their children by DNA. Yeah, they do. I was in grade 1 when I learned how to spell my name. I wonder how old I was when I learned how to spell my name. Because I know for a while I always spelled it with the S the wrong way. So it would be like J-O-S. And then I used to always go by Joshua. And I also would put, like, for my lowercase a, I would put the little tick, you know, on the wrong side of the O, if you want to call it that. And I sometimes see that. So right now, guys, if you're on Patreon, you already know this. This is one of the less secret things that I've been talking about over there. But I'm working on my coffee table book, right? I've mentioned it here on this channel as well. But I'm trying to find some of my old art, if you can call it that, from when I was a child. And as I've been going through some stuff that I do have, not very much art in there, but there's there's some of my like stories and stuff that I wrote. I don't know how, even as a little kid, I thought these were compelling in any way. They suck. They're like, I guess it is at the time, you know, you're learning sentence structure and you're learning like how stories have a beginning, middle, and end, and you have like paragraphs and like punctuation and stuff. So that's probably what the exercise was all about in writing a story. But like for me, I thought I was clever at the time. I remember thinking, yeah, this is going to be the best story. I'm going to be the kid who reads it at the front of the class and stuff. And now I'm thinking back, I'm like, man, this is trash. I can't believe I thought this was good. Enjoy these moments with your mom. I cared for my parents for 3 years, and it was a blessing now. Blessing now that my dad is gone. Right. Minus 30 Fahrenheit or Celsius? Celsius. Sorry, I thought I said that. Anytime I refer to a temperature as a Canadian, it will be in Celsius. I don't know Fahrenheit so well. Like, we use imperial measurements, so I'm pretty well versed in that. But like when it comes to like temperature, I don't know Fahrenheit. I know that minus 40 is minus 40 in both measurements, but like I don't know what 80 degrees Fahrenheit is like in Celsius. That's warm, I think. I think that's like plus 20 or something, maybe. I don't know. Does anyone know that? I have a twin. You guys would love her. Oh, really? She's the opposite of me and amazing at being a chef, a seamstress, and a mom and a grandma. And much more. I learned to spell my name in kindergarten, Germany, so I was like 4, or kind of. Ooh, I was in kindergarten in at age 5, which I think is the most common. But sometimes there's a 4-year-old, and sometimes there's a 6-year-old. But I went to preschool, maybe. Was it preschool? I went to a school for like, because I wouldn't speak when I was young, so I went to school for speech impediment, or whatever you want to call it. I didn't have a speech impediment. I could talk normal when I did talk, but I just would choose not to speak because of childhood trauma issues. And I think I was 4 then, but I don't remember exactly. But I remember the school, and I remember the kick-ass music room. It had like stairs that you could sit on. It probably wasn't that kick-ass. I just remember it being a lot of fun. And I remember the music teacher, Mr. Zimmerman. And also there was a girl music teacher too who taught a different class, but sometimes it would be both of them. And then I remember the janitor. I can't remember what his name was, but he was deaf, and so he would do sign language and stuff. And he would always do this when he would leave, right? Like, that means I love you, I think, or something like that. And when I would see kids do this, like, like rock on, I would always be like, huh, I guess a lot of people love a lot of people. Because, you'd always see people just be like, yeah, rock on. And I would just think that that was the same. Yeah, so the janitor, that was when I learned, what's that song? It's that, what's one I dare not go, for if I do, my mother would say, yeah, Down by the Bay, Down by the Bay. Yeah, that song. I remember learning that song, and I would always try to come up with the most clever, like, rhyme or whatever it is, because you know how it's like, have you ever seen a blank, then a blank? And I would just be like, what could be the most clever? But the thing is that you're singing the song, and then for whatever reason, I couldn't think of something to say while I was also trying to sing the song. So like I would always just be like, a goose kissing a moose. And then I was like, that wasn't that funny. That's overdone. Everyone says that, and then it wouldn't be funny, and I'd be disappointed that I didn't say something as funny as I could have. And I remember, yeah, so I was like about 4 then. So dumb. So, yeah, and I remember, oh man, I barely remember, but I kind of remember that's when I would start talking around other people, is when we would sing the songs. Maybe that's why we sang the songs, and maybe that's why they were like, hey, laugh at him no matter what, even if it's not funny. I was a house painter for more or less over 30 years. Well, were you a painter for more or less? You can't be over more. That's I would ask about your family history, but it might turn out like the story I heard you tell about how you met Alex Archibald on a movie set. Hilarious. It would not turn out like that. I would, those stories are reserved for Alex. My nephew is a Joshua, and he likes being called Josh, but his mom hates it and always corrects anyone who calls him Josh. I'm a Joshua, and I don't care if people call me Josh or Joshua. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's my grandfather always says that. I was like, hey, do you want me to call you Roger or do you want me to call you Gramps? He's like, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. If you watch the Gramps Chronicles, you might be able to gauge that as a good or a terrible impression of my grandfather. My stories have a middle, beginning, and are you talking about the ones in your binders? Those were awesome. Glad you showed them to us. Those ones, yes, but other ones as well. Dakota is your real brother if you were adopted. I wasn't adopted, but that's an easy way to describe it. But yeah, Dakota is my blood brother, and Will is my half-blood brother. Mike, Dave, and Ken, and Janice are my my siblings through, like, guardianship, if you will. Why do people use metric? Because it is far superior, I guess. It's very easy. Everything's in increments of 10. The only thing that is annoying is that when you like measure something that's like this long, right? Say that's I don't know, 11 centimeters, let's say, for example. Actually, I don't even know how many centimeters that is. That's like 14 centimeters, okay? But on plans and stuff, they don't use centimeters or meters. They use millimeters. So they'll say like 1,337 millimeters. And I'm just like, what is that? So then you divide by 10 and you figure it out. But dang, it's annoying. Inches, or like, let's say imperial, for measuring something, as long as you know what the measurement looks like roughly in your head, like this is a foot, right? Or that's roughly also about 30 centimeters, right? So you just be like, okay, so this building in front of me, that is roughly, I'm gonna say 150 feet, right? And that's just a guesstimate. I could be way off. But if someone tells me 150 feet in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay. But if someone tells me that is 15 meters, wait, I don't know. That's way too small. That's 30 meters, right? I want to say 30 meters, yeah. If that's 30 meters, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what 30 meters is. Now, if I, paid it, like if I, so how I'm solidified in my knowing my measurements is like I was building houses for long enough with imperial that's what stuck. The only thing that's odd about those, reading blueprints is that all the walls will be in imperial, but the windows and some of the doors will be in metric. So you'll be like, okay, so your wall is 20 feet long, and then when you lay out, you're gonna have all your cripples and stuff measured in like it'll say like 1,000 millimeters or whatever. So then you just do the math, then you figure it out and you place it where it goes, in the layout. That is so annoying. 80s Fahrenheit is 26. What did I say? Dang, was I close? I can't remember what I said. Did I say 25 or did I say 20? In Germany, you go to kindergarten at age 3. Dang, that's early. That's like preschool here. Here you go to preschool, and then you learn like, social skills, hanging out with people, schedules. I didn't go to preschool in the sense of a regular preschool where everyone goes to, so I don't know how different mine was, but like, you learn stuff about like, your manners, you learn how to start talking properly, stuff like that. And then when you go into kindergarten, you learn the same stuff, obviously, but then you also start learning how to spell your name, and you learn how to read. I couldn't read very well until like grade 2. I sucked at reading. I may have had a little bit of dyslexia or something because I just didn't understand how words made sense. But in grade 2, I had a reading buddy who was from grade 6. Grade 6? Yeah, grade 6, I think. Because I was just before junior high, so it would be grade 6ers. Yeah, I think. Or no, maybe it was junior highs were reading buddies. Anyway, so I had a reading buddy. Well, everyone in the class had a reading buddy. And then they would read to you, and then you would read an easier book to them. And like I sucked at it. Selective mutism. Huh, is that what it's called? I think Dakota is his twin, younger brother. I had a selective mutism as a child. Sometimes even now when I'm stressed, it's difficult to speak in front of people. That's no good. You were also learning how to perform or deliver your stories as a kid. It paid off. We all enjoy your storytelling now. A goose kissing a moose is on top of it. My son was published when he was 4 or 5. Dude, that's sick. I was published in a stupid not scholastic, what do you call it? Some sort of contest for a poem. Dude, I thought that shit was amazing. I wish I remembered what it was. We had to write poems in grade 3, I want to say. And I won like a limo thing and like a free book from a bookstore of my choice. I picked a Titanic book, and I didn't know how to redeem it, so I asked my teacher, Mrs. Wolberg was her name, if she could redeem it for me. And so she did. She asked what I wanted. I said something Titanic. And then I remember her like in front of the whole class just being all embarrassing. She's telling me about it. And then she's like, and then I remember her saying this, but I could be getting her exact words wrong. But I remember her giving me like the side eye, not like the side eye like, but like the side eye like, I'm going to say something nice about you. Hopefully it's not awkward for you. Just kidding. I'm going to embarrass the shit out of you. And then she's like, so I was thinking about Josh last night as I was at the bookstore, and he's a wonderful young man, and he's very creative, and he knows exactly what he wants to do. And so I decided to get him a little gift. And she gave me this Garfield bookmark that the eyes were like sparkly, and it's on the bookmark. It says, "I'm so bright I gotta wear shades." And I believe I still have that bookmark somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But I've had that since I was in I think that was grade 3. May have been grade 2. But yeah, I remember writing this poem, and it was like a acrostic. Wait, what's the poem where you have like a word, and then you make like a line for each word? I think, is that acrostic? Or maybe it wasn't even an acrostic. Maybe I'm just remembering a different poem. But anyway, it was in some sort of something. I don't know what. Yeah, rock is love, but it's different if you show your fingers or not. Pinky finger is so, and pointing finger is I, and pinky finger and pointing finger is Y. So I love you. I love you. Oh, okay. Hello, LWTUA from Germany. I'd call you J-Dog. Is Gramps your real Gramps? He is. I just didn't meet him until a couple years ago. Hello, Josh. Hello, Dave. I named my son Walter thinking I would call him Wally, and the first time I called him Wally, he said, "Don't call me Wally or I'll call you Wazwy." Why didn't you just name him Wally then? And then, you know? Do you like kids or Kermit? Are you saying Kermit? Do I like kids or Kermit? Who are you are you talking to me? Do I like kids? I don't mind kids, I guess. Hey guys, what are you doing in the car? Oh, I'm waiting for my mom's doctor appointment to be finished, and then yeah. So I thought I'd do a Q&A, so that's why I'm going through all these comments here, seeing what the questions are. A mother is the one who mothers you, takes care of you, feeds you, clothes you. You can have a mother and a birth mother. The birth mother may be just the carriage. Now, I understand what you're saying, but like when I say that she's not my mom, I just mean that she's not my mom. So that's how I describe her. She's not my real mom or whatever. That's weird. I just noticed that this beam, this doesn't mean anything to you, but it's bolted on every pillar except for this one, and now it's causing some sort of OCD anxiety where I'm just like, why isn't that bolted right there? It should be bolted. It's bolted there, 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 and there, but not there. Steve Synth says, I'm the exact same. I'm not sure, but yeah, Imperial, all the way from me in the UK. Oh, you're visiting the UK. Because I'm pretty sure you live in Tibet or something. You said. Yeah, Imperial is easy for me for measuring. Metric is easier for everything else. But when it comes to like fluid measurements, like 1 cup versus wait, what are cups? Are there metric and imperial cups? Okay, let's say a quart and a liter. They're so close to the same that I'm just like, it's the same. All right, so a gallon, I'm like, oh, that's basically 4 liters. You know, it's easy to go back and forth. I mean, of course, they're not exactly the same, but they're close enough. Like 16 ounces versus 598 milliliters. That sounds stupid. So I'm like, oh, 16 ounces. Or wait, 6 ounces. 16 ounces. 6 ounces. School starts at 3 years old in the UK. People, leave it go. He would not say mom if he did not think mom. Being of the older generation, I can only do imperial and would have to Google for metric. My son went to kindergarten at 1 and 5 years. It's called CRIP. Sarah, we have another Swedish person in the house. Sarah Hilm. Perfect Swedish name, probably. I don't know. In American school, first and second grade, I attended special speech class because my father spoke French and my mother spoke Spanish. I had a hard time to pronounce my English words. Now I speak all three. Dude, that's sick. I wish I could speak another language. Like, I don't know. But, like, what would be, like, I wish I could speak Cree, of course. That's a hard language because it's almost dead, unfortunately, you know, because of history and whatnot. But, like, here's an Asian man. I don't know what kind of Asian he is, but, like, let's just assume he's Chinese. If he started speaking Mandarin or whatever, for example, it would be so cool if I could just be like, you know, hey, I know what you're saying, in whatever, however you would say it, you know? But I don't know how hard it is to learn an Asian language. They sound very difficult because it sounds like noise, you know? But I wonder if, like, if I went to China or wherever, Korea or wherever, would they be like, dude, that guy, he sounds stupid. He's just making noise. What's wrong with him? I always wonder, like, what other people think when they hear English. But English, I guess, is like, it's the universal language for distress on the open ocean, right? So I wonder how common English is all over the planet. I imagine it's decently common. Like, there's a lot of you from all over the planet, and you can understand me, right? Which, that's dope. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along. Just tried to switch the US to metric system, but I guess we couldn't adjust. We used feet, inches, etc. Yeah, I knew that. My mom always tells me about that because she was in the US when they did that, and she thought it was so stupid. But hey, when you know something and it works, why change it? I guess the reason why they still use imperial is because the US uses imperial, right? So they have their standard, which I guess is also called standard. And then we have our standard, which is not called standard, it's called metric. And since trade relations with the US, like all over the world, you know, trades through the US using the US dollar or whatever, they're like, oh, I guess we're going to keep it around. And it is handy, though, because, like, you know, I'm just thinking, like, 30 feet, you know? Bam, I know what 30 feet looks like. So it works. You know what I don't get when it comes to weight or mass or weight, right? Like 30 pounds. I know what 30 pounds feels like. I can estimate if I pick up something, I'm like, oh, this is 30 pounds or whatever. But I don't know kilos that well. So I'll be like, oh, this is like 11.9 kilos. Like, I don't, like, how many kilos are in a pound? It's like, or how many pounds are in a kilo, I should say. 2 point something, right? So, like, or I don't even know. So if something's 30 pounds, I think it's like around 12 kilos or something. Maybe. I'm not sure. But then, like, some of the European measurements, like, oh, it's 11 stone. What is stone? I follow a guy on Instagram, which you should check him out, John Charles Art. Go check him out. He's a bodybuilder and an artist, and or maybe he's a lifter or something. I'm pretty sure he's a bodybuilder, or maybe he's just a strong man. In any case, he advertises his weight gain or weight loss or whatever he's trying to do in stone, and I'm just like, he's like, yeah, I'm up 6 stone or whatever. And I'm just like, what is that? That's so interesting. Funny when people say metric is hard because they all use the decimal system with their money. So they do know it. Same rules. Right. It's not hard. It's just, for me, it's hard to visualize because you have to do math, depending on how you describe it. But yeah, I can't read the chat because my eyes are tired. Oh, that sucks. Hello, Hannah Banana. My son could recite poems in first grade for like 5 pages. Dude, he could be like on the, what is it? Mensa? Wait, I'm probably saying, wait. That's not like the menstrual thing. What is the smart club or whatever you want to call it? There's like a club, not a club, but like a group. I had a client here in the city where I did her basement development, and she was like an interior designer, so like I spoke with her quite a bit because she had like cool like design aesthetic that I really liked. And so like I would talk to her beyond like, all right, see you tomorrow or whatever, right? And so she told me that her husband, who by the way, so in their house, sorry, my ADD here, I like saw her basement, whatever, has a bedroom, had a main room thing, and then she's like, okay, I only need this room finished and some touch-ups and whatever. And I was like, okay. So there's stairs here, and then there's a hallway right beside the stairs, and then my room goes around here, and then so stairs, hallway. In that hallway, there's a room that goes into the laundry and utility room, and then the rest of the room here, okay? I'm coming down the stairs, and I look, and I'm like, okay, so you don't need anything done over there. And I was like, just thinking there was another whole room over there. And then I realized as I got, around to walking around and doing all the work that I was doing, I'm like, oh, that's not actually a room over there. I'm an idiot. That's a mirror. There's a mirror on the wall. Okay, that makes sense. No wonder she doesn't need anything down there. I probably sounded like an idiot because there is no room over there. But then her husband comes home, and he comes downstairs, and it's common for them to like see progress or whatever. So he's like looking around, and then he like goes into a bedroom. Then he goes into the laundry room. He does whatever, and then I'm waiting for him to leave, go upstairs, because like I can everywhere where I'm at, I can see the stairs, and so I would notice if he went up the stairs or no. And I don't see him go upstairs, but as I'm walking around, moving around, doing whatever, I don't see him. Like, I'm like, okay, he's not in the laundry room. He's not in this bedroom. He's not in the hallway. Where is he? And then I realized that the mirror is a door. It opens, and he had like a man cave in there. And I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. It was like a secret room. It was so cool. But anyway, he was a smart ass, like not a smart ass. He was like really smart, and he was some sort of engineer of some sort, I think. And anyways, he was really smart, and he's like his IQ was like I don't know 190 or something. I don't know if that's too high to be real, but like it's really high. So you're still finger painting, but you get paid for it. Now you get paid for it, yeah. Uh, My lad sang Personal Jesus by Depeche Mode when he was 5 at a school town show. They thought he was religious because they hadn't heard of the song. I don't know that song either. Is that why you put Garfield in some of your work? I don't put Garfield in any of my work. I just put a Garfield look-alike. I call him Garblefield. I just draw him on. In fact, in that same house, I drew that Garfield on the wall, and their kids. She sent me a picture, and she's like, "What is this?" That's the tone I thought she was like. What is this? Why are you drawing on my wall? It was gonna be painted over, right? So it didn't matter. I was like, "Oh, I just draw a Garfield head on every project that I have. Uh, I hope you don't mind. If you do, I can take it off or whatever." She's like, "No, my kids thought it was hilarious." I'm like, "Oh, well, that one's going to be painted over. So just so you know, I've put another one that isn't going to be painted over." And so her kids like were like looking around. They couldn't find it. And the reason is because it was in the laundry room in a bulkhead. There's like they would have had to look very specifically up and around. Uh, that is not why I put it in there. I like Garfield. I don't know. Do you know the reason why? Is because Dakota, my little brother, he put Garfield on one of the houses that we were framing, and somewhere in the roof, in the trusses, right? We were walking trusses, and you know, it's me and him up there, and then you're waiting for the crane or whatever to drop off more trusses. So you're just waiting up there. So you're kind of just sitting. You have a pencil in your pouch, so you just start freaking doodling. And he did that, and then I was like, that's hilarious. And then we just kept doing it. Like, I started doing it too. And then we just kept doing it, and now I just still do it. That's the whole reason for that. I remember one person in the comments one time got super mad at me for stealing copyrighted material, but I don't know what their problem was. It's not like I wasn't selling it, and I was just drawing it on the wall in a haphazard way, in a parody way. Parody is protected, by the way, so at least in the US and Canada. So mine is a little parody of Garfield, whatever. An acrostic poem is a poem in which the first letter of each line spells out a word. Right. Okay, that's what I thought it was, right? Hello, John Carabello. Walter suits him now. He is 6'4". Walter, is that for big men? Walter. Yeah, I guess so. Hey, Walter. How are you doing? Walt. Call him Walt. Wally, I think, is... If he had a big belly, I feel like Wally would be better. If he had a beard, Wally would be better. And if he had glasses. You know, if you just, like, look at someone, you're like, oh, that's a James. That looks like a James. Like, there's a guy right there. He's wearing a toque. He's got sunglasses up on his toque. He's got a beard, or that might actually be a mask. And he's has a little dog. He looks like a Benson. He's like looking at me, look at him. Just waiting for his dog to go to the bathroom. Josh, do you ship overseas? I would love a cutting board made by you. Absolutely, Elizabeth. I ship all over the world. Sometimes it's expensive. Batch D is actually going to be sneak peeked in the next vlog, which I started on. But I was like getting sick of making cutting boards, so I was like, screw this, I'm gonna do something else. I like that you got to meet your real grandpa and that you and Dakota have a great relationship with him. Thank you. I always had and still hate reading out loud. I hated having to do it in school. I hated it too, actually. Unless it was my own stuff. That would drive me nuts too. Why would you skip one spot? Right? Like, I don't get it. My niece knows Japanese. That's cool. Learn how to say dude and sick in different languages. I know 4 languages, but I'm originally Scottish. Are you the Scottish who's like, you can't understand you unless you really enunciate? Or wait, is that Scottish or is that something else? Maybe that's Irish. There's like one of those languages from over there where like they string all their words together and you're like, what the heck are you actually trying to say? But like with an accent. I remember I was watching, it was on YouTube. It was like, it was like trying to understand whatever the dialect. And the guy was like, the only thing that you could understand was him saying, you understand? It's just like, what did you just say? I remember I one time went to get a passport at Canada Place, which for some reason is a pink building. And we were in the food court, and the lady at one of the food places started talking, but like it was so hard to understand that somehow we ended up buying food from her that we didn't even want. She was like, what? And then she's like starts pointing, and then she's like, you get guaribana? And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Starts scooping up food, and then and she like rings it up, and I'm like, did I just ask for this? I don't even know what's happening. So I did, yeah, it was the strangest interaction. But I think that's kind of a tactic that they do in that food court, because another time I went there, and this guy, I think it was a donair and pizza place, He did the same thing, but I could understand him. He's like, "Hey, boss." I'm like, "Hey." He's like, "Good to see you." And I was like, "Wait, do you remember me or something?" He's like, "What will it be this time?" He's like, "We still have the donaires, and we got pepperoni pizza. And right now, actually, we're taking a meat lovers right out of the oven, so that'll be fresh. You want one of those?" And I was like, I guess so. It's just like he sold me by having conversation that I was not even trying to engage in. It was perfect. I didn't even know how to say no. But luckily I like donair and I like pizza. I actually got 2 slices and I got fries too, I think. Yeah, it was very odd. I think most Canadians think in feet and pounds. I think it's probably maybe an Albertan thing, maybe more so than maybe a Canadian thing. But I don't know. English and Spain is the main spoken language in the world, and at least that is what I learned on college. Spain, as in Spanish, 2.2 pounds to a kilogram. Ah, 1 stone is 14 pounds. Okay. Most Canadians also think in kilometers and not miles. Right. So when it comes to weight, it's difficult for me, but when it comes in kilometers, it's easy because like you just divide by 100, divide by 10, whatever. Right. If you're going 100 kilometers an hour, in 1 hour you'll have gone 100 kilometers, just like in miles. But if you want to judge something, like how long you're going to be driving, right? Say, okay, this is 100 kilometers away. That should take you, uh, well, if you're going 100 kilometers an hour, right? That should take you, wait, that should take you 1 hour, right? Yes, that should take you 1 hour if you're going 100 kilometers away, right? If you're going like 300, it's 3 hours. If it's 320, you're like, oh, that's 3.5 hours less 10 minutes or less, right? Yeah, less 10 minutes, right? It's like so easy to get. Now, if you're going like, okay, that's 100 miles away. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going 100 miles an hour, I'm going to be flying. So I'm going to be going probably about 60 miles an hour. How do I do that math? I don't know. You know what I mean? So in those terms, it's good. Now my truck, it's in miles an hour, but it has the kilometers underneath it, so like I can still judge it, even though it's wrong because my tires are way too big. Uh, Josh, have you been to Alex's new house yet to see how it's coming along? I haven't, but he called me yesterday and asked me. He said, "Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing, man?" No, he didn't say that. That would be hilarious if he did, though. Uh, but he said, "Hey, man, should be. Hopefully, it's done soon, and I'll have you over for dinner." And I said, "Dude, I don't like the way you cook." Just kidding. I've never been there for dinner, except for one time he asked me if I wanted pizza, but he ordered like potato pizza or something strange, and I was like, "Dude, that's not pizza. That's like something. That's an experiment." So then we just ordered our own pizza. That's when I was working on his old house. I lived in Georgia for a year and came home with southern accent. If you live in an area with a different language, you'll pick it up. Menza, Menza. Yeah. That's it. Sorry, I'm way behind in the comments. I'm gonna scroll down. Josh, did you buy the Goddard? Oh, you sent me that? No, I didn't. That's not a picture that I wanted, but I appreciate you showing me a steal of a deal. Um, but no, I didn't buy that one. There's ones that I like more particularly. Benson the Dog Man. My favorite YouTuber. So creative, Josh. Well, thanks. No beard, no glasses, just tall and handsome. They say he looks like me. David is behind me in this pic. I can barely even see you in that picture. It's too small. Okay, I'm back. I'm all the way at the bottom here now. Okay. I live in the in the near. I live in the near of the. Hold on. I live in the near of the Danish border, so I do speak a little Danish. And in our area, we have a second language as well. It is called Frisisch. Love to hear you saying it. Only 400,000 people. Frisisch. Frisisch! Okay, I don't know where you are, though. So, I don't know if that's... Oh, shoot. Dang it, you ass. There we go. Completely off topic, and I just got on, but my son won a local art contest out of 334 submissions. I'm so proud. Sick! I've never won an art contest. I probably have, but for some reason I'm blanking. So that's awesome. Good for him. Congratulations, son. Son of Aurora. Dude, you have a perfect name to have your children addressed as. What's his name? Let's say his name is Bill. Bill, son of Aurora. Wait, that's not your real name. Aurora Nebula, that's too on the nose to not be your name. To be your name, I mean. Well, he placed in the exhibit. He is 17. 17. I remember when I was 17, that's when I got kicked out of my house, by the way, from the conversation that we were having earlier. 17, and, let's see here. I also ran away when I was 14 a couple times. But the goddamn cops were like, hey, you gotta go home, you're a minor. But when you're 16, you can be independent. So when I was 17, I didn't have to go back home. I got kicked out, and then I just decided not to go back when I was welcome back. Something like that. Good for him. Northern Germany. Anthony. Tony, okay. Tony. Anthony sounds better for when you say it. Like, you know, like in Lord of the Rings where he's like, Himli, son of Gimli, the heir of Oregon, and a helmet made out of steel that for some reason never gets heavy on your big fat head. That title sounds so cool. Obviously I butchered it because I don't actually know what they are. Legolas, son of Aragon. That's a different species. Legolas is an elf. Son of some other son of a bitch. I can't remember the different dude's name. Gimli I think is the dwarf. Hold on a second. Aragon. Who's Aragon? Wait, is Aragon Bean? I don't know. Anyway, that's a good movie. Probably good books too, but I don't read that much. The third attempt was not too bad. My English is bad today. I am so sorry. Oh, don't even worry about it. Thanks. I prefer Anthony as well. Love the vlog in the bakery. Amazed by your talent, Josh. Vlog in the bakery. I don't think you're talking about me. I didn't do a vlog at a bakery. But I should. Is there a bakery around here? There's a muffler shop. Capilano Mufflers and Brake Shop. Gimli is a place in Manitoba. Strider. Linda. Hopefully you're doing good, Linda. Cake place. Gimli Goose. What are we talking about? Son of Aurora? Ha, that's good. That's a good pun. I like that. Guys, it's getting freaking freezing in here, so I'm gonna start this. Sorry about the annoying noise. How do we go to hot? I'll turn it up, and then I'll turn down the fan so it's not so noisy. There we go. Oh, confections. Ah, sorry. Yes, I guess that is a bakery, isn't it? Okay, sorry. I just don't classify it as a bakery in my mind. Yes. Okay. Did I do a vlog there? Oh, I think I didn't do a vlog per se, but I did a little update. That was actually that's a what's up, I call them, a what's up segment, which I normally reserve for the Patreon. So not technically a vlog, but not a vlog, because I guess you could classify it as a vlog. I just don't designate it as a vlog. That's all. But I'm glad you liked it in any case. Your friend's confection shop where you built. Oh, okay, yeah. Aragon, the heir to the throne, humankind, Strider, mankind, us, you and me. I'm confused. Sean K, thank you so much for the 19.99. I feel like when people like Sean, they just sent that and then didn't say anything. I feel like how do you say it? Like, not awkwardness. I feel grateful, but I feel strange when people do that. But thank you so much, because you didn't even say anything. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. But Sean, thank you so much. When they said bakery, then it must have been the cake place. Where you sell your chopping boards? I think that's okay. We got all the bakery. Seatbelt noise. Yeah, so I wear my seatbelt in this car, by the way, because of that ding, ding, ding. So annoying. Here's a question for you. Why are so many of your thumbnail pics of you and your friend, hold on a second, let me read this here. Here's a question for you. Why are so many of your thumbnails pics of you or you and a friend drinking? Oh, you mean in the live videos? I only do that in the lives, not in the vlogs. It's not my mom. When my mom comes back down, I'm going to leave. Just so you know. That is that is decidedly not my mom. That is a man wearing clothes similar to my mom, colors wise. That's hilarious. P.S. Big time fan. I've caught a few live feeds before. I'm still debating on your Patreon. LOL. Hey, don't feel obligated, but if you do, thank you. Are you feeling back to normal after the Ronia? Yeah, I felt good. Like whenever I did the live saying that I got it, I felt fine. I couldn't taste anything, which was weird. But other than that, definitely not the worst sick I've ever been. So it was nothing. Ashley got sicker than me, and she was vaccinated. I was not vaccinated. Some people seem to think that I have some sort of conspiracy-minded opinion over vaccines. I do not. I do not think that. I mean, I'm sure people have been harmed by vaccines, just like any medication can cause harm. But I do not think that they are like some. Whatever. I have nothing against the vaccines. I don't feel like having a whole debate and argument over it, because I have no authority over that sort of subject matter. I have no clue, whatever. The reason why I didn't get vaccinated is not because I didn't want to get vaccinated, it's because I was too lazy to. Now I don't have to get vaccinated because I got those antibodies. But for me, luckily, it was not bad. I know some of my friends who passed away from it. That sucks a lot. And I'm glad that wasn't the case for me. I have no idea where I got it from. It came out of just random. I was just like, oh, I feel kind of sick today, so let's get tested just in case, because I want to be responsible. I don't want to pass it on. Most people seem to survive this very easily, but, I could pass it on to someone who is immunocompromised or this or that. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that guy who says, it's no big deal, because it's no big deal to me, because it could very well be a big deal to someone else. Took the test. Positive, took another test just in case it was like a false positive or whatever. It was positive again. And then did the quarantine thing or whatever. Didn't do anything except for watch a lot of movies. I watched a lot of movies, but I also watched a lot of TV shows. Frontier, recommend it. What? The Cowboys show. Yellowstone. It's a good show. Justified. And what else did I watch? Rick and Morty. And something else. I can't remember. I watched some movies too. So yeah. But yes, I am feeling back to normal. I feel totally fine. Sometimes I can't smell anything though, which is weird. Very weird. Love seeing your mom's photos in her album. I'm glad. I was contemplating how I was going to put that together, but it seemed to work. There was a lot more to it, but it worked out. OMG, Josh is live. Meet Ultra Lord live. What is your blood type? I heard that type O is less susceptible to the virus. I actually don't know my blood type. I think it is red and very runny. I don't know what it is. I should know though, huh? I know I used to know because when I got carbon monoxide poisoning, they told me what it was because they took like 7 billion vials of it. Not literally, obviously, but you know when they like take your blood in those little tube things? It looks so weird because it will just, it'll fill those up in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, like those tubes, right? They're like this big around or so. They're like this long. And they like stick it onto the thing and it's just like, they undo it, put another one on. It kind of almost looks like black, kind of. It's crazy. I have heard others say they weren't as sick as other family members who have been vaxxed. Yeah, see, now who knows? It could be that she would have had it even worse if she wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, but now I'm good. Now she's good too. Not against it if you were lazy to go. Not what? Dude, you still need to get vaccinated. There's no decent immunity. There's no decent Omicron, like the least bad. If there's no decent immunity, what is the vaccine gonna do though? Because wouldn't that be your immunity to it? I guess I got Delta. Omicron was out already, or Omicron, however you say it. Well, anyways, my daughter's O negative and she got it at work and brought it home to me A negative. I did not get it a second time. They're talking about the first time. You could easily get it again with no guarantee that it won't be bad. Why risk that? I could easily get it with the vaccine though as well. That's what I'm saying. Yellowstone is so whacked, it's so good. I love it. Good veins. Oh, is that why it came out fast? So the girl who did the thing, so this is when I got carbon monoxide poisoning the first time. And like, I've told this story before, but when she was poking my arm, right, like so, they had like well, I didn't even have a shirt on, but let's just, whatever. So they had like this part, right? And they were like, is that my mom? That is not my mom. They were like, they put like this rubber band thing around it, and then they like waited a little bit, and they like slapped it up, and then they like took this weird syringe thing. It had like these handles on it on the side, like fins, if you will. Looked like, kind of like a rocket. And then she was like, I was like, God, get it in. Like, stop doing that. She was just like poke. She couldn't get it in the vein that was popping up, which she must have been new or whatever, which is fine, but like she wasn't even saying sorry or anything. She said sorry at the end, but like she's just like, finally she got it in, and then they connected the little tubes to that, and then later I had like a IV thing in my hand, like you know, like the little, it looks kind of like a, I don't even know, like a little tiny hose, right? They stick that in there with a needle or whatever, then take the needle out, and then the little hose thing stays in there. And then I had like a bag of clear. And then, yeah, then I had to stay there for 2 years, 2 days. That would be insane if it was 2 years. 2 days, and I only had to have the, whatever you call that thing, for the first day. And I remember, dude, my legs were so weak for some reason. I felt so weird when we went to the cafeteria. I didn't want to use the elevator because, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. So we went down the stairs and I felt like my legs were jello. It was so weird. The second time I had carbon monoxide poisoning, I only went to the hospital for like a few hours. Like, I don't know. I don't even remember how long. And then I was fine. Like, they just did the oxygen, they checked my levels, and they were like, okay, stop being a pussy, go home, you're fine. And the first time, though, they were like, dude, stop not being a pussy, you're dying. And I was just like, oh, cool, not good. Let's do this. Put in the oxygen thing, did like the thing, took some blood, and they're like, yeah, dude, what is wrong with you? How did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. You're an idiot. Let's go up. They didn't say any of that, but then they put me into the chamber thing, oxygen thing. It was like a glass coffin, and then, man, the pressure, like they have like this dial, right? And they just like, and you can ask them to put it down or put it up depending on how you're feeling, right? Because like your ears are just like, it's like this pressure of like, it feels like someone's like sticking their fingers into your eardrums. It hurts. So they gave me like apple juice so that I could swallow, so that I could clear my ears, right? But it didn't work. Hardly that. Well, it did. The third time I went into the chamber, it was like, I was like, hey, how much longer do we have? And she's like, about 2 minutes or whatever it was. I was like, oh, okay. What I was asking her is like, how much longer until we're at full pressure? Because then you're in there for like a couple hours or whatever, long enough to watch a movie, and then they put the pressure down. But I had 2 minutes or however long it was, maybe it was like 15 minutes for the whole thing. I didn't realize they had it pressured all the way up already. And the third time I was in there, I was in like a small tube. It was probably about this big, I would say. So like I couldn't even do this. This is what I was doing in the other ones, right? And then like it's glass, right? And so you can see they have a TV on the outside, and then like you have like sound coming in, like not like headphones, but like sound is pumping into the thing, right? It can't have any electric or anything because like it's 300% oxygen, which I don't really understand what that is, but how can you be more than 100%? Anyway, if you have a spark, you're just gonna implode, so, or explode, I guess. If you open the door, you wouldn't be able to because it's a vacuum, but if you open the door, then it would implode. But a spark of any kind would blow up. So like they give you like the smallest shirt gown thing. I was like, dude, what is this? This is not even this is not even a mini skirt. What is this? And they're like, yeah, it's nothing I haven't seen before. I'm like, all right, freaking awkward. You're just standing there. Then they give you a little blanket too. But I was like, what the heck is this? Anyway, it was a adventurous couple days, and then the recovery from that was brutal. Like, I don't get migraines. I don't get headaches that often. So when I think of a headache, I'm like, yeah, headache sucks, and a migraine would be worse than this. Since I've never had a migraine just on its own or whatever, I don't know how migraines come about for folks. But in this case, the migraine was probably the worst head pain I've ever had. And like it drove me nuts. Like I was like, I was at home, right? I had to go get a, what do you call it, CAT scan or something? Whatever, when they do the imaging of your head. So like for brain damage, I had the brain damage or whatever. So I had to take like, I had to drink fish oil, which, by the way, that's disgusting. Like they said, like he's like, okay, you need to take fish oil. I was like, oh, fish oil. I've done that. You know, take it with my vitamins or whatever. You get like those capsules, right? They're brown, whatever. I was like, cool, yeah, I can do that. And he's like, okay. So what I recommend is drink a liter of fish oil. I was like, drink? What do you mean drink? I'm not drinking this. He's like, do you want to die? Or it's like, do you want to be dumb? Or whatever he said. Anyway, so like drinking that stuff, and like it coats your mouth, and like I was like trying to chase it with milk and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is the worst. I tried to chase it with water, which didn't help at all, but milk kind of helped. It was so gross. Water just like went, like it didn't mix with it, right? So it just like you just drank water. I couldn't even taste the water. But the milk, I don't know, it must have like an anti-catalyst to it, so it like made it unstick from my, oh, it was the worst. I hate fish. It's so gross. But anyways, fish oil is even worse, because it's the fish taste without any of the redeeming qualities of a fish meat. So I had to do that for like a few months, and I had to drink cranberry juice. I had to drink cranberry juice because of my heart thing anyway, so that wasn't new. And then I had to take some other stuff, like actual pills, actual meds, or whatever. But some of these other things were like for help your brain, help my brain, and I don't know, do something. Anyways, so yeah, do not recommend getting carbon monoxide poisoning. It is not bad when you're having it. If you don't plan to die, don't do it. Please don't kill yourself either. But like what I'm saying is like the recovery is horrendous. And I'm sure there's worse, right? There's definitely worse. But hey, if you don't gotta do it, don't do it. The second time was not as bad because I didn't have it as bad. But once you've had it once, you're more susceptible to it later on too. Or so I'm told. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Giving blood one time, the hose was across my wrist. Amazed me how hot it was. Yeah, it's like 21 point something degrees, right? Or wait, what is it? What's the body temperature? 20 something? If you have a problem with smell, it's probably, yeah, it was Delta, yeah. Antibodies are good for a year. My doctor said, dude, don't worry about it. You're strong. You keep not dying. And I'm like, yeah, luckily. So what you're saying is you don't want to get vaccinated? That's what you guys are saying, it seems. I don't care. If I thought it was beneficial, I would. Butterfly needle, is that what it is? It's called a okay. So not a rocket needle. Panama loves Josh. Thanks, Shubas. There are no moderators. Hannah Banana was here for a minute, but I don't think she's here. I love your expertise in medical terminology. Your stories are so amazing. Oh, that's funny. What caused the carbon monoxide poisoning? Okay, so hyperbaric chamber. Yeah, that's what I went in. Yeah. The thing that caused it. So if you want to know the whole story, I tell it on the Just Joshing with Chakota channel. I think it might be the first episode. So go check out the Just Joshing with Chakota channel. And we got a few stories on there. That's what we do. Me and Chakota do that. Anyways, what caused it is working on my car. I was running an air compressor in my garage, which I thought was only going to be for a couple seconds, like, you know, maybe a minute. But it ended up being like a couple hours. And then, you know, as you get more and more effed, you stop thinking, and then it's easy to rationalize the extra time because your mind is getting all woozy, right? I was like higher than high. Like, I don't know, I've never done meth or heroin, or I haven't even smoked weed before. I've been like secondhand high from other people smoking weed, but like that's not for me, right? I don't I don't care if other people do. I care if other people do meth. Like, please don't do meth. But like, if other people are smoking weed, that's whatever. That's fine. Fine with me because it's a plant. But unless, of course, if it's damaging to you, then I mean, you can make your own decisions. But if you ask me to make your decisions, I'd be like, please don't harm yourself on purpose. The contact high I got from weed is like, I didn't even notice it, right? But other people noticed it in me because they're like, dude, Josh, go home. You're acting like an idiot. But the carbon monoxide, dude, I did not care. I knew I was dying, and I didn't even care at all. I was like, so, like, this is great. I feel fine. I feel I feel excellent, is what I felt. It was fun in a gruesome, like a, not gruesome way, but like, how do you say that? Like in a, you know, a way that has dire consequences, whatever that word is. But I was fine with it. I was just like, oh, well, I mean, everyone dies, so I'm just gonna die today. That'll be cool. I'll have a funeral probably. People will come. It'll have a, there'll be there'll be hopefully some sadness. No, I didn't even think that. I just thought, like, you know, I just thought of all the things that were probably going to happen, and I was like, eh, but so what? I've already lived. I'm looking for a phone charger because my phone is going to die, but I do not see one in here. Ma, why don't you have a charger in your car? Anyway, so the compressor was gas powered, so yeah. So how many guardian angels do you have? Amazing, right? I remember one time I was almost hit by a cement truck head on. It was coming around this corner, and vehicles always cut the corner. It was 2 lanes, right? One coming, one going, right? I was going, he was coming around this blind corner, and they always cut because the speed limit was, I think, 80 kilometers an hour. They've reduced it to 60. They've widened the road and reduced it to 60, which is annoying. They could have kept it at 80 and then just widened the road, but now they've widened it so you don't, no one cuts it anymore. But he cut it, and I just went, and I was like, it was like slow motion. You know how people describe it as slow motion? It literally felt like slow motion. I was just like, actually, I was probably driving with one hand. I was driving a Pontiac Grand Prix GT. Right, I'm just driving. I see it, and I'm like, oh. And like during this time, I'm thinking, well, probably this is going to be death, and it's coming. It's completely in my lane by about a little more than 3/4 probably. I had a little bit, probably like this much of my lane plus the shoulder. Okay, and the shoulder is not like a big shoulder. This is just a service road, so it's just like half a shoulder, like that a highway would have. And I was just like, I'm going to die. Okay. And then I was like, why? Don't die yet. That's not cool. And so I like turned, and like I always say, I made a Facebook status at the time, and every once in a while in my memories I'll see it, and I said, I Tokyo drifted away from death or something I said. But I turned, and then I turned back again, and I like, it probably looked cool as shit. Probably looked unrealistic. Probably if I was in a movie, people would be like, that would never happen. I don't actually know what it looked like, but I just barely missed it. And you know what's crazy is my coworker, same thing happened to him a little while later. He got hit, just smashed right into the so a semi-truck, or semi-truck if you're American. Why is it like that? Semi versus semi. What if it was SEMA? So so a SEMA truck was coming around that same corner. It cut the corner, luckily not as much, but as he was going around that corner going the other way, right? So the cab has a sleeper, and the sleeper sticks out a little bit more, and then you got the wheels and stuff. He slammed into the back wheels of the tractor part of the truck, right? He just slammed into that, and his car was demolished. And he came to work the next day with a different car. I'm like, oh, you got a new car? He's like, dude, I got hit by a semi. And the way he said it, it was hilarious. It actually probably wasn't the next day, but a few days later or whatever it was. The guy was a strange fella, so I didn't even know if I believed him at first. I'm like, wait, you actually got hit by a semi? He's like, yeah. I was like, dang, that's nuts. So I never reported my incident because nothing happened, but he probably had no choice but to report his incident. And so I wonder if that contributed to them widening the road, because who knows how many other times. In fact, in that same area, a lady was hit by, there's a four-way, and it's a two-way stop. So going north and south, there are stop signs, and going east and west is a free flow. And it's an industrial area, so there's lots of semi-trucks, lots of couriers, stuff like that. And they almost never stop at the stop sign, especially if there's no one coming, because, you know, there's usually there is no one coming, but there's a neighborhood there, right? That's where my in-laws live, right? And that's where I used to live. And I remember one time, oh, I was so mad. This truck didn't stop, and he happened to be turning the same way we were going, and I was driving, so I had to go into the oncoming lane to avoid hitting him. And then, you know, he just screwed off like nothing happened. He very clearly saw us. Luckily, we were able to move over, because slamming on my brakes, I still would have hit him. We probably wouldn't have gotten hurt or anything, because we would have been able to stop and then bump into him instead of just smash into him. But just a couple weeks ago, someone T-boned a semi-truck that didn't stop because it was just too close. So I don't know if they didn't see them, but there's a stop sign, so they should have stopped anyway, even if they didn't see them. They would have seen them if they would have stopped, but they probably looked as they were driving, saw no one there, looked again, and as they were looking, maybe the car was behind like a sign or a snowbank or something. Like, I don't exactly know, but they probably just missed them just at the right times to not see them, kept going straight, and then just killed this lady. Such a tragic accident that could have been easily avoided. So a lot of people talk to me about I don't wear a seatbelt, and I understand your concern about that, but one thing that I don't do is I never speed in school zones, I never speed in construction zones, I stop at all stop signs. And, like, you know, all those things that are, you know, would concern other people's safety. I do all that stuff because I'm not willing to have a more comfortable few seconds at the risk of someone else possibly perishing. I got 9% left. I was 12 and got slapped in the head by a dump truck mirror and spun around like a Tasmanian devil. Oh, dang. Thanks everyone. This is my second Patreon, but out of the house 6, I think. I'm late to the game. You became a patron of mine? Thank you so much. I never speed at all, just too dangerous. I think that if you're a bad driver, speeding is dangerous. If you're a good driver, speeding is normal. The thing is that you shouldn't be speeding when other people are not driving to your own, like, how do you say that? That sounds a little irresponsible. Don't speed unless it's safe to speed, right? Like, if there's no one else on the road, go as fast as you want. Don't be dumb. But, you know, if everyone else in the road, you have to weave through them to maintain your speed, don't do that. Wait for them to move over into the slow lane, which is so annoying when they stay in the fast lane. But road rage is what kills people. If you're speeding with road rage attached to your foot, Accidents happen. That's not even just an accident. I mean, of course you don't want it to happen, so it's not like it's on purpose, but like that's negligence. That's dumb. Cops been hiding in the highway or local street for speeding and running over a red light. Yeah. One thing that anytime someone tells me they got their license taken away for drunk driving, that's the one I hate the most. Some people who I know have drinked and drived. How do you say that? Drunked and drive? Drinked and drived. Drinked? Is that a word? Drinked and drived. Drinked and drove? Drove drunk. There we go. So, some people I know have drove drunk. Wait, how do you say that again? Have drove drunk, and it's so infuriating. They like think it's funny. They're like, "Oh yeah, dude, and I got away with it." It's like, dude, you didn't deserve that, and whoever you could have killed definitely wouldn't have deserved that. Even yourself. Don't kill yourself because you can't, like, freaking a cab ride or an Uber or a Lyft or something. That's like nothing. That's like, what is it going to cost you, like $20 to get home, or be in jail for the rest of your young life? Get out when you're I don't even know how it works exactly. Yeah, dumb. I'll be honest, I did it once when I was 22 and I'll never do it again. I'm ashamed. You should be. Are there seatbelt laws? There are seatbelt laws. So if I get a ticket for a seatbelt, I think it's stupid because I don't think it should be a law, but I am willing to risk that. I just don't like wearing seatbelts. I hate it. I will wear a seatbelt if the roads are sketch. And I will wear the seatbelts when there's lots of traffic. But yeah, there are laws on seatbelts. And I think it's because people, when they get in collisions, they went through windshields and stuff. So it was to prevent loss of life, I think. Or it also could be a lot of laws come into play because we have socialized medicine, right? So if they can create laws that keep people out of the hospital because it's paid taxpayer money, right? It's paid through the taxpayer. How do you say that? Paid through the taxpayer. They will create laws so that less people will go to the hospital because then it's less expensive for the hospital system, right? Or whatever. So they could have been that. They could have been like, well, we're paying for all these people for all these things that could be avoided or whatever, right? So let's make it a law, and then more people wear a seatbelt. Like my mom used to never wear a seatbelt, but now she does. My brother Mike, I think he wears a seatbelt now, but he used to not wear a seatbelt all the time. And I think my brother Dave, but my brother Ken always wears a seatbelt. My brother Dakota always wears a seatbelt. My brother Will, I'm not actually sure. I don't drive with him. Hadn't driven with him hardly at all. But anyway, I know people are going to disagree, just like they will with anything. But that's me. My late husband was in a car crash where his dad was driving pre-seatbelt law. I was told if he had a seatbelt on, he would have died, but he did break his back in there. Yeah, that happens too sometimes, but again, that's rare, right? That's rare. Hello, Mel. Airbag was my friend. Okay, by the way, this is probably going to just stop working any minute, so I'm going to go. So thanks for hanging out. My friend is going... Okay, Stephanie Captain, who was... Please go watch that live video that I did with her, the shop talk with Stephanie K. We are going to do probably another live video in the near future, but she's releasing her video today. So go watch that live video so you can get her links and stuff. They'll be in the description. And then watch her video tonight. Tell her that I sent you in the comments. That'll be awesome. This lady has some really yellow pants that actually look pretty rad. Yeah, she's releasing it today. I actually, if you follow her Instagram, you got a little sneak peek, and I was like, dude, this is actually going to be awesome. So, yeah. I guess I can turn this off now. Yeah, my phone's going to die, so thanks for hanging out. I'll see you. Please go check that out, like I said. You can find it on the last shop talk. Is everyone getting skip the dishes right now? That guy? That guy? That's only two, but still. Two at the same time. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out. Peace.